Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Sarah and I post new videos every Monday. Today I'm doing a makeup tutorial, how to create this bronzy smoky eye. Very easy and simple to do. I hope you enjoy it, and if you're interested, keep watching. First, I'm using this Bioderma Micellar water just to remove any excess oil that I may have on my skin, any dirt or any makeup. And don't forget your eyelids, because eyelids tend to get a little bit greasy, so removing that layer of grease will ensure that your makeup, your eyeshadow will not crease, and it will last you all day. Okay, I like to use this cream. I don't know if you're able to see it. This is a moisturizer and a primer as well. Always, before moving on with your foundation, make sure that you let that moisturizer sit on your skin for a little bit. I like to use a rounder brush. This is a buffing brush. I find it very easy to use. It gives me a nice coverage. And always I apply the foundation on my hand, and then from there I apply it on my skin. To dip the brush on my hand. So basically this is my palette. If you're a makeup artist, always remember that you need to use a stainless steel palette before applying foundation on your clients and for hygiene purposes. But for yourself, if you're doing it for yourself, it's better to use your hand. Okay, and my preference is I like to start from my chin and go all the way up, like in tapping motions. Once the foundation is on, I'm going to apply my concealer. And I'm using a concealer that is the same shade as my foundation. So especially if you have under eye circles, and if you use a concealer that is too light, instead of covering your under eyes, you will make them more noticeable and you will look ashy. So it's always good to use a concealer that is the same color as your foundation, or even a little bit darker, so you can get more coverage and conceal that darkness under your eye. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the Covergirl concealer, and this is a very good product. I really like it. It gives you a full coverage, and it's very smooth and doesn't crease. So I'm just applying in this area first, okay, which is usually where it gets the darkest, and on the outer corners, okay, here. And I have some blemishes around my mouth that the foundation didn't cover, so I'm just gonna use that to spot conceal some of the areas that I find that I need more coverage. If you use a concealer that is lighter to do this, instead of concealing the blemishes, you're gonna make them look more noticeable. So always, as I said before, go for a concealer that is the same as your skin, as your foundation, or even a little bit darker. And to blend that concealer, I like to use a concealer brush. This is the Sephora Pro Airbrush Concealer in the number 57. This is a fluffy concealer brush. I really like it. It gives you a very soft finish. So I'm just using my brush and pressing the product on my skin. Okay, I'm not swiping, because if you do, you're gonna remove all the product. Just pressing the product on your skin. That's how you will get the most out of your concealer. Don't forget the inner corner. Okay. And I like to bring it a little bit down, like on a triangle shape, just to brighten and cover that area. I like to use a lighter concealer. This is like 2 shades lighter, just to brighten. So this will be like my highlighter. Okay, and I would just add it just a tiny bit here. Is where you get more shadow on top of my nose, cupid's bow, my chin. In this area, I just want to brighten that up. And using a darker concealer, I will use it to contour my face. Okay, and I'm just gonna do a little bit because this color is very dark. And a little bit on my nose, just a tiny bit. Okay, and if you notice, I'm applying a little bit more on my forehead because I have wider forehead, and my face is on my cheeks are already sharp, so I don't like to make them look too thin. I feel that I look weird, so that's why I just apply a little bit and go using my foundation brush. Okay, just tapping that, just slowly blend that cream product. Just trying to get my... So I applied the concealer under my jawline, okay, here, starting from my temple and blending upwards. I'm using my concealer brush, that's the same that I used before, just to blend this lighter concealer. And whatever is left on my concealer brush, I'm just gonna use it and put it on my eyelids to prime them. Bring some color and shape to the face, and for that I'm using this bronzer, and I'm using this this is a blush brush to apply it, and I'm I just make up 3, okay, and an E. Just a bronzer. You want to contour your face, you can also use a bronzer. Make sure that the bronzer that you're using is matte and that is not too orangey. You can use something like this, more flat and dense, to contour. Blush, so I have this one from Morphe. This has like a peachy color. That's the one that I'm going to use. Smiling on the apples of your cheeks and bring the product to your temples. I like to use this tiny WhatsApp highlighter, this a cream to powder highlighter. I like to use my fingers and apply it on the highest point of my cheeks. And a little bit here above my brow. So see how beautiful. Look how this area looks very matte. How this one looks so glowing, healthy. Before you use any setting powder, make sure that you blend this well, that you don't have any concealer creasing around your nose. Sometimes what I like to do is to use a beauty sponge. This one is from Real Technique and just press that sponge to remove any excess product. I find it that around my nose and my mouth I tend to crease, so that's why by using a beauty sponge it will help you remove that excess makeup. This powder, this is a translucent powder. Just gonna apply a little bit on the back of my hand, no, on my hand, and using this highlighter brush, and I will apply the powder only under my eye to set my concealer. Today I want to create a more bronzy smoky eye, and I will show you how to do it in very simple steps. Okay, I'm using this palette from Morphe. This is the 35O palette. It has a big range of colors. You can create so many looks with this one. Okay, so for today I'm going to start with this brown, dark brown, as my base. Okay, and I'm using this brush. This is a pencil brush. And also, if you're somebody that is new in makeup, I will recommend you to do your eyes first and then do your foundation, so that way you don't have to worry about fallouts and, you know, messing up your foundation. But if you're somebody that has a little more experience and you feel more confident doing your own makeup, you can do the same as I'm doing, my foundation first and then your eyes. And if you just want to make sure that you don't mess up your concealer, you can just add a little bit more powder just to give you an extra barrier, just in case there's some fallout. It will be easier to remove. Okay, so going to that, this is like a warm brown. That will be my base, and I will apply it all over my mobile lid. Okay, always press the product, shake the excess. Okay, so I'm bringing this, let me just come closer. I'm bringing that color all the way to the socket of my eye. And once that color is on, this is like a more matte eyeshadow. So that's my base. And now I'm going to use this one here. It's a little bit similar, but this one is more shimmery and a little bit more, I would say, more orangey, more bronzy. And for that color, I will use my ring finger, and I will apply the shadow on top of that color that I already applied. Okay, I'm just using my ring finger. Especially for shimmery shadows, I find that using your finger is better. It gives you a better color payoff. And I will just do the same, apply it on top of what I already did. Okay, once that color is already on, I will use my blending brush. This is like a fluffy blending brush. This is the Morphe E22. I really like that brush. And I'm using this like orangey color, and I will apply that on my crease just to soften those two colors and to define my eye a little bit more. So see how just by applying that color as a transition color, it just brightens the eye and make it look more lifted, instead of this one looks a little bit down. Using this brown eye pencil from MAC in the color Teddy, and I will apply it on my waterline, and I will apply a little bit on my upper lash too. a small pencil brush, like this one here, just to smoke that out. I don't want to see the eyeliner, I just want to see a little bit darker but blended. And I'm using the same colors that I use on my eye. I use the last color, the lighter shade. Then we'll apply under just to soften that eyeliner. I'm using a flat brush like this, okay, and I'm using the first color that we start with, the dark brown, and I will apply very close to my lash line. Like I'm just stamping that shadow. Going back with the same brush just to soften that. Basically we're done. So we only used 3 shadows. We started with the dark brown, matte, and we added the bronzy brown, shimmery, and we finished with this orangey tone just to soften the transition on the crease and on the lower lash. And we use a eye pencil. Let me just remove that powder that I applied. Holding a mirror, looking down to get very close to your lash line. And at the bottom, see that I'm changing the position to the to do my upper lashes, I go horizontally, and for my lower lashes, I go vertically. And this time I'm going to use some lashes because the whole look is very simple. By adding lashes, you're just making that look more interesting. And I'm using these lashes are Kasina, and they're wispy lashes. They're very natural, they don't look very heavy. And before putting them on, make sure that you measure them and trim them on the outer corners to ensure that is the right length. If it's too long, it's not gonna look right. So this always make sure that you measure them first before applying them. Just make sure you wiggle them, apply some glue, and as you can see is an even amount, but just adding some extra in the inner and outer corner. At this point, you can either use your fingers or you can use a lash applicator. I have this from Duo, and I'm just going to grab the very end from the middle, looking down to my compact mirror and placing them on top of my natural lashes. Always secure the outer corner first, and you don't want to see gaps between your natural and your false lash. Make sure that you press them nicely, and you can either use your fingers to press them together. Always make sure that you add some eyeliner on top, just to make that transition look more natural. And just add a little bit of mascara on your lash, not on the false lash, okay? And press them together. Little touches to the lips. I'm using a lip liner first. This lip liner is from Tonos. It's a nude eyeliner. Just gonna line my lips first. This L'Oreal Paris lipstick. So this dries matte, so you can add a lip gloss on top to make it look shinier and more plump. Here you have the final look. Very natural, very easy to do. I hope you learn new techniques to take your makeup to the next level. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more tutorials like this one. And don't forget to give it a thumb up. Follow me on Instagram at Makeup by Design Toronto, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Bye, see you next time.